Welcome everyone to our
Hello.
second Campfire Conversation stream,
Nice.
which is where we invite other devs to talk about their games and about game development in general. I'll start with a very quick introduction of us before we introduce our guests. So, me and Jens are from a studio called Off the Beaten Track, a German indie game developer with a focus on games that make a difference. So, we like to develop games that are fun, but also a little bit more than fun, maybe change your worldview or leave a lasting impact. And we recently started a few new streaming formats, and one of them are these Campfire Conversations. And we're very happy that today, for our second episode, we have two members of KeokeN here with us. Welcome, Julia and Alina. Do you want to quickly introduce yourselves? Who you are, what your role is at KeokeN? Yeah.
All right,
Lina,
who goes first?
go.
I'll go first. Okay, sure. Okay, I don't mind. Hello, everybody. My name is Lina. I'm a social media community manager at KeokeN Interactive. I am the person who maintains all of the social media and also talks to community and makes sure that developers and KeokeN team gets your nice messages, your feedback, the cool things that you send us. And I also make sure that everything that goes in the studio is transparent to all of you there, so you know what's going on and you know your heroes. That's what I do.
And Awesome. I'm Julia. I'm also working at KeokeN as an office manager, also doing a little bit of recruiting and talent scouting. And I actually know Jens and Ines from back in the day. We, together with Jens and another game developer, we founded If Game SH, which is a nice game dev association. So I'm really looking out for connections between devs. Like all of us. And so this is really nice that we can come back here and I can bring Alina with me here.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for bringing me.
Yeah, that's also one of the reasons why I'm so happy to have you here, because we know Julia already live, and also it was just very easy and easygoing to write to you whether you wanted to join our stream, and quite spontaneous. So I'm very happy to have you here.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you want
What a small world, right? Years ago, we co-founded If Game SH, and now you're in another part of the world developing games, and we're in the stream. It's cool. Yeah,
Yes.
It's nice.
But also, you're in the Netherlands, so it's not that far away from northern Germany.
I mean, I'm closer than Alina, so we can not reach out to her so easily as to you, probably.
No, but you know, it's kind of with the internet. I'm always one click away. So
the internet. What time is it at your place, by the way?
It's only 1 hour difference, so it's 4 p.m. here.
Okay.
I'm not that far away. Yeah,
that's okay. I mean, at some point we might have like international guests, and then super international, and then
I probably would not have agreed to that if that was at 6 a.m. for me. With all due respect, I do value my sleep, but it'd be in only 1 hour difference.
You'd have like bad hair and stuff.
Or you would just have to get the morning me, which is, a little grumpier than what you said.
Oh, no.
A grumpy morning stream. That's a concept. But would you like to introduce KeokeN to us a little bit? So, where are you located? I mean, I already mentioned it, the Netherlands. Okay, so that one's out. But like, what your studio stands for, and just tell us about your games. The one that you already released and the one you will release soon.
Yeah. I'm gonna let Julia talk about the company, and I'm gonna take the games thing.
Yeah,
we're gonna divide.
I just wanted to say the exact same thing.
Great minds.
Yeah, no, I'm working, or we are working here at KeokeN. We are a studio of about 35 people now. That wasn't always the case. It grew a lot in the last year. I think KeokeN exists since 2013, around that, and in 2019, around that time frame, we released our first game, Delivers the Moon, which is the prequel to, or like the first part before Delivers Mars. And we are quite a small studio for the ambitions that we have. If people know here Delivers the Moon, then they see it doesn't look like an indie game. It has a very nice story. It is very polished, very like very nice graphics and everything. So people regularly confuse us with being a bigger team, which is cool on the one hand, but on the other hand,
It's like a
we
huge
still have to.
compliment.
Yeah, but still you'd have to tell people sometimes, hey, we're just a small indie company. But no, it's really great. I personally think we have a extremely cool team here. Everyone is really dedicated. Everyone is really talented. So I'm sometimes very humble to be here, but it has been a great ride so far, and I'm really happy to. Even if I miss Kiel, if I miss the part of Germany where you're from, where I lived before, I'm really happy that I'm here and that I can see the development of Mars now and can live that development and onboard a lot of new talent here. Look out for new talent here in the Netherlands. Yeah. And now we have Deliver Us Mars.
Right, as Julia mentioned, the first game was released in 2018. That's Deliver Us the Moon, and now the team is working on the ambitious sequel to the game that's called Deliver Us Mars. It's an emotional, cinematic, grounded sci-fi adventure, and it happens 10 years after the Fortuna mission, which is the events of the first game. So in Deliver Us Mars, players will experience an all-new story that it expands on the events that were depicted in Deliver Us the Moon. We're also going to introduce a new protagonist, Kathy Johansson. Kathy joins the crew of the Zephyr space shuttle, and they're on a desperate mission to the Red Planet. The goal is to save a rapidly declining Earth by retrieving a vessel known as the Ark, which the organization called Outward fled with years earlier. Kathy, however, she's not just there to save the humanity. She also has some personal stakes with that mission because there was a signal received from the Red Planet, a mysterious one, and it hints on a connection to Kathy's past. So Kathy is there to determine the source of it and look for her father, Isaac, who was forced to leave with the outcome and leave her behind. So there's a lot of emotional things going on there, a lot of family drama, if you may. Deliver Us Mars will be a huge step up in gameplay variety from Deliver Us the Moon, but it's also going to feel like a true sequel. There are brand new mechanics in the game, such as climbing, puzzles that are going to escalate in complexity throughout the games. There's also scuba diving, and players will also come across the existing mechanics that they saw in Deliver Us the Moon. For example, there's going to be laser cutting, and everybody were in love with the Ace drone, a cute little drone companion. There's going to be a similar one called Ayla, who's going to help you solve the puzzles. So it's going to be amazing. So every moment in Deliver Us Mars, it's going to be very handcrafted, and it's going to deliver a suspense-filled, emotional-fueled narrative, as I mentioned, because, you know, family drama, something we can all relate to. It's also going to be filled with music from our award-winning composer, Sander van Zanten. If you haven't seen the Deliver Us the Moon playlist on YouTube, the soundtrack, I strongly recommend checking it out. It has some amazing soundtrack for the first game. So the same person is writing the soundtrack for Deliver Us Mars. Obviously, we also did some state-of-the-art motion caption. People can expect some stunning graphics, real-time ray trace shadows, and reflections powered by Unreal Engine 4. That's where we are developing our game. And the last but not the least, Deliver Us Mars is coming to Xbox Series X and X, Xbox One, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, also going to be on PC, on Steam and Epic Games Store, and it's coming out to you on September 27th and is available for pre-order right now. This is my beautiful pitch for the game.
Wow.
And now the same in German. We talked about pitching in
I'm so
German.
impressed, both by the pitch and the game.
Yes.
I also quickly linked Deliver Us Mars, the Steam page in chat. So if you want to check it out. And as mentioned, Deliver Us to the Moon is the sequel to Deliver Us Mars, and that's also on Steam. So check it out if you haven't.
Prequel, I think. Yeah.
Prequel.
Moon.
Yeah.
Before.
Mars is a sequel. Moon is a prequel.
To Deliver Us the Moon. Yes.
I just used
we
the
we started with Moon as the first, and then it's Mars as the prequel. No, sequel.
You're just confusing
everything. No, it's a sequel.
Moon first, Mars second. Easy.
I mean, also, it's two planets with M. So, like, if you want to shorten it,
difficult.
Now it's like DUM and DUTM. You
Yeah,
didn't make it easy for yourself.
No.
No.
But can
We
I say that
sometimes
I'm very much looking forward to deliver us the sun?
I
really a
thank you
very
for
hot game.
thank you for not making another joke. There's another joke going on in the comments of YouTube mentioning the name of another planet. I thank you for
Oh
not
my
making
god!
that one.
Ah,
No.
okay. So I just want to say hi to Yannick in chat because Yannick would have instantly jumped on the train of that joke, but I'm not gonna say it out loud.
He will. It is not Jupiter.
And
Is it
it's not
Pluto?
Saturn either.
Mercury?
Would be cool if it's.
Mercury, Pluto? Oh, Pluto's not a planet.
We can talk about that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
afterwards, because that's another
Okay.
discussion.
That's a whole different topic. Okay.
But honestly, just listening to your description of the game, it is hard to believe that you're such a small studio.
Mhm.
So
I mean,
I'm-
after all, yeah, it's an ambitious sequel because the company has amazing, ambitious, our CEOs, Kuhn and Paul, the Dietman brothers, as we call them, they have this, they sometimes say it's kind of like a crazy ambition and always goal to go, go big or go home. And you will definitely see that in Deliver Us Mars, especially if you compare that to Deliver Us the Moon.
But we also have a good mix of talented and passionate people without burning out the people here, because we still have a quite good of a working culture where we don't crunch, we don't work overtime. I mean, sometimes, especially if you're in the art department or something and you have a creative spark in the weekend, that can't be helped. But we try to, or like we are quite good here with the talent, and also Kuhn and Paul are very good in finding really ambitious, like really talented people, getting them on here, and everyone in this group of people that works here, that we click very good together. So there's not any competition, no egos going on here, and I think that is helpful if you make a game like this in such a small team, that you just have to be everyone has to be on the same page about it.
And also on that note, I joined one of your streams a good while ago, like 2 years ago or so.
I think it was last year
Was it
in
last year?
May. I think it was May for the
mean,
or March.
Time
It was
is
Mental
weird.
Health Month. Yeah,
Time is
Mental
weird
Health
since
Month.
the pandemic. But
Yeah.
yeah, I joined your stream and we basically did talk about a lot about mental health, getting help for mental health issues, and
Yeah.
also how to have a mentally healthy workplace. So that's definitely what I connect with your studio, because you're not afraid to talk openly about it, and
No.
I really enjoyed the talk we had back then.
I think it also helps smaller indie studios to show that there are other studios out here that try to have some kind of ambition, but not have the cost of burning out people. I think it's just good for studios to lead with a good example, and to talk about it, and to try to make a difference in this industry that is not very nice sometimes to their people.
Javier writes in the chat, smaller teams have to be smarter. Yeah.
True.
And yeah.
Our team is very versatile in that matter because
Yeah.
we always aim to be not the big, huge beast that, is, when you're big, it's kind of hard to fit through some of the cracks, right? But when you're smaller and versatile, you're more flexible with what's to come. And I think that's what KeokeN always aimed for and aims to still to the day. Also, one thing, if you have been following our social media, which I take pride in, we've been doing the Meet the Team videos where we get the team member and put them in front of the camera and ask them a couple of questions. One of the questions that we always ask, why do you like working at KeokeN? Like, what's the best thing? And if you watch those, most of them say it's the team. It's how amazing it feels working here. It's being surrounded by the like-minded people. So, yeah. And we're not forcing them to say that either. They're voluntarily.
You're not.
No, I find it funny because I always hear, or like a lot of people say, like it feels like family working with them, which for me sometimes give like big huge alarm bells, because I always hear the like startup culture,
Oh
we
yeah.
are like family, something like this. But I think I think we are a family in the sense of that we really try to be positive with each other here, try to lift each other up, and try to look out for each other. Just sometimes also ask personal things. Hey, how are you doing? Is it hot where you are right now? How are you dealing with the heat? Just like these kind of daily interactions. And I think that's actually quite nice that you're not coming to the workplace, working here for 8 hours and then going home, but that you can also have a beer with the people here without it feeling too forced. And I think it's actually quite a nice thing for this industry. Yeah.
Also, like 30 to 35 people might be just the right size to not be like too small, but also not
Yeah.
so big that everyone's anonymous. So
Yeah.
sounds
No,
like a good size for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we have people working remotely like Alina, but I think we're trying to do a good job in not doing so many things here where people feel left out, but doing stuff together. Just it's nice.
Okay. You mentioned during your great pitch already the motion capture animations, and today we're not gonna play your game. We're gonna look at 2 of your trailers. One of them has some
Nice.
motion capture action in it, and yeah, I'm just gonna turn on the first video. Just give me a second, and then we'll have a live trailer viewing, a trailer viewing with live commentary from you two, I guess.
Can we just talk over the trailer? Does that work?
No, not really. But you can absolutely tell me to stop if there's any point where you want to like comment.
Yeah.
And
You can also
we
just
do
watch
that.
it first, and then we can talk about it here.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh,
We'll
exciting.
start with already started it with a gameplay trailer. Let me show it to you guys. So there's that, and here we go. And I hope sound works. Should. And yeah, let's watch it. May contain scenes inappropriate for children.
Ryan, this is Kathy. Can you hear me? Please come in.
Mission Opera has only one objective.
Bring the Arcs and their revolutionary technology back home.
Here we go, Opera Team. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
I need to know that when we get there, you'll make the right decisions.
We can do this.
What do you expect to find on Mars?
I'm getting goosebumps.
I was about to say that every time I watch that trailer, I get goosebumps, no matter how many times I've seen it.
We've seen it so many times, yeah.
And
But
I mean, it's pretty short, but it's pretty epic also.
yeah.
Epic is one of
Oh,
the
I can't
words
hear
is
Jens
used to-
right now. Oh, Jens, you're
Jens, you have
muted.
to unmute yourself in Discord.
Sorry.
What's your impression?
Yeah, it was great. It really gets to the point. Like it only takes a few seconds, and you're immediately drawn into the trailer and want to learn what's behind all this and how the game plays, and all the gameplay sections that you see really seem very, very epic and actiony and cool. So yeah,
Yeah, they are. They
cool.
are.
It gives
And
me
it
a
also
mix.
shows such a breadth, like the driving scene as well. I didn't expect to see something like that. It's cool.
Yeah, we
Sorry,
had that.
Ines.
We
Oh,
had
sorry.
that for Delivers the Moon too. That we had a it's called Moon Buggy, I think, and
Mhm.
people were so excited to just like drive around the moon crater with the buggy
Nice.
and just like doing. I don't think you can actually do like a flip, but just like
You can.
Yeah,
There are
you
some
can.
people who
Okay.
like there
Oh.
is no one achievement, but you can. Like if you have to, if you try, if you time some certain jumps and some hills, you can flip it. And I was actually seen a couple of people post the clip saying, "Oh my god, I finally flipped the buggy! I did it!" I'm like, Okay,
So
good
you're
for
not
Should
you don't have a speedrunner community, you have a moon buggy flip community. Or I mean,
How's
Uh,
that called? Like the action
um,
cars that have the frames and dirt bikes, dirt biking? No,
I don't know.
dirt carring, something like this. It's very fun. So we had to put it in the next game too.
But
For sure.
that confirms
sorry,
my
you mentioned.
oh,
Sorry, we're just talking over each
no,
other. I'm
you
just going to
first.
quickly mention that you mentioned speedruns. We were surprised to find out that there are Deliver Us the Moon speedruns, and we recently watched one of them, the fastest one, with KeokeN developers. We sat together, and there are YouTube videos about that. So
I
there
think
are
Nice.
Deliver
yeah.
Us the Moon speedruns. Yeah,
I
I
think the
think
person completed it in 1.5 hours or something, which is
1
crazy.
hour, 1 hour 18 minutes to be
Yeah.
exact.
I
For
think
a
And what's
that's
the
one
narrative
of the
regulatory
game.
time?
indicators of you made a great game is there are
Yeah.
people who speedrun it.
Yeah.
But also having a moon buggy confirms my impression that so when I watch the trailer, I get some vibes of like Mass Effect in the good
Mhm.
sense,
That's your
and
topic, Alina.
We, yeah,
Uncharted in regards to like the climbing and stuff, and then
the one.
some emotional extra
Yeah.
that's maybe not in the other games.
One of the things that we get the most is so this is Lara Croft in space. That's a lot of
Yeah,
people. They
yeah.
keep saying that, but I mean, we take it as a compliment. I mean, Lara Croft games are a fantastic game, so I mean, why not? One thing that defies Deliver Us Mars from Mass Effect, and I'm a huge Mass Effect fan here, right? Deliver Us Mars is.
Alina, show it.
I have a huge Mass Effect sleeve, which
Oh.
is like a thing.
Ooh.
Okay, cool.
yeah. Let's go back to talking.
I'm glad I mentioned the title.
Right. Deliver Us Mars is grounded sci-fi, while Mass Effect is all of the actual sci-fi, like softcore kind of with a lot of things that take us within our galaxy and a lot of the technologies that don't exist yet and might never exist. Deliver Us Mars has a more of the grounded approach. So nothing, everything that you see in the game has a real science behind it. It's kind of like our prediction of what might it look like on Mars in the near future. So that is a huge difference between the two games because we are more of the hardcore sci-fi fans in this one.
Yeah, it just visually it reminded me of it, but in the good sense, of course. All of these comparisons are meant in a good way.
That's a huge
definitely.
that's a huge compliment to be fair.
And but then another title that comes to my mind is The Expanse. Do you know it? The series and books?
Oh yes, yeah.
Because that's
Yeah, so
also it's a like near sci-fi series, which is also plays on like Earth, Moon, Mars, and then asteroids in between.
This is amazing because The Expanse is like that fantastic series, the books, and then the TV show. Obviously, it's also like a bit of a grounded sci-fi approach too. So it's kind of great. It's great. I think this is the first. I don't think Deliver Us Mars has been compared to The Expanse yet.
Yay! I did it.
This is the best. You got it.
That's
But
the
I
reason why I
still
like The
think-
Expanse so much.
Yeah, I still think the games can stand for itself because they are just, as Alina said, narrative, very heavy, grounded in real, like life science basically that could actually happen. So it is really cool to not only think about what could happen in the future, but think about stuff that's already like conceptualized, that could already be real, and then think about what would actually happen if we use that technology that's already here, and then tell a nice story. So very cool.
Yeah, I also think that's pretty brave. I mean, to dare to do that like grounded sci-fi, I'd be totally afraid that I put something in there that's super illogical, and then some science people are taking my game apart.
Well, KeokeN people did consult scientists on what Mars feels like, how it's going to be. There is a Dutch astronaut that also helped us, consulted us on the topic, and we never just come up with this stuff. Okay, we think that this is what it's going to be like. They put it there. It's there's always research and a lot of research that goes behind creating a game, and yeah.
And if you have stuff that's not working, or like that would be illogical, that's mostly in the game because it makes more sense for us in a creative freedom. So you have to find a good balance between like scientific realism, which could be very like boring to like. I mean, how long does it take to go from Earth to Mars? You cannot have that in a game if it's not
Yeah.
EVE Online or something. So
It still
yeah.
needs to be fun. It still needs
Exactly.
to be fun. Like you play it, but it also has still to be fun. Otherwise, I mean,
Yeah.
that would be a documentary more than a video game.
And I think we find a good balance. I think our narrative director Rainer, he mentioned in one of the videos, and I think it's quite accurate. We have a great launch sequence in the game, which feels I think feels very real. I mean, I cannot confirm it, but he likes to say you cannot, as a normal person, you cannot get a better feeling for launching
Wow.
something in space than probably
Okay.
what we're doing.
It's the second best thing to being in space. But also go into space is difficult. You have to train for it. So
You still have to
Okay.
get it confirmed by a
so
real
it's easier.
astronaut.
It's easier to just play our game. You know, just
Marketing slogan, the second best thing to being in space. That's pretty cool. I want to come
is
up
what
with
it
something like that for our future games. Second best thing to
Yeah.
XXX. Okay, we have a second video we want to watch, and it's your Dev Diary number 2, which will contain the aforementioned motion capture scenes and stuff. So let's take a look
Yes.
at that. I think you should still be able to see it, right? It's still
We are,
streamed?
yes.
Yep, we do.
Okay, great. Then let's go. And with this one also, should we like just let it go through and then we'll talk about it afterwards?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I
yeah.
would love people to with us just watch it because it's very emotional. It's also causing goosebumps. It would be a crime to talk over it.
Okay.
We can do that later. We can do that later. Yeah.
Let's go. Mild blood and violence. Okay. Okay.
The title, Deliver Us Mars, is a metaphorical phrase by saying, deliver us the solution, a new outcome, deliver us the future.
Mission Opera is about a distress call that comes in from Mars 10 years after its predecessor, Deliver Us the Moon. What we're feared today that might happen to Earth with climate change, this already happened in Deliver Us Mars.
They decide to go to Mars and find out if the arcs that might contain a solution can actually save Earth and its state and maybe make it a more habitable planet than we have today.
At its heart, Deliver Us Mars is still a story about humanity, and our story will always revolve around that the technology we have could do it, but the actual answer is somewhere in us as humans and the conflicts we face as a species.
I love the ambition that KeokeN has. They have huge designs. This is a cinematic, operatic piece, which is still embedded in a family drama.
It's actually a very intimate story between a daughter and a dad.
Kathy Johansson is the protagonist in this story.
With Kathy, the whole piece rests on her. So if we didn't get that right, none of it's going to work. It wasn't easy to find the right person.
We did quite a lot of casting to get to the main character, Kathy Johansson.
But when we found Elise, she was instantly our favorite. She was perfect for this role from the beginning.
Kathy is intelligent, funny, and rebellious.
Instead of a typical hero who could be the answer to anything, we really liked Kathy to be real.
She's incredibly passionate about space and Mars, growing up with that around her. Her relationship with her father is a very complex one. There's this beautiful love there, but it's a disconnected love. She hasn't seen him for years, and so there's this big hole in her heart. She has all these unanswered questions around where he is, what their relationship would be like now.
Is he alive? Is he not? That's the quest she's on there.
She's got this amazing self-assuredness about her, but also, on the other side of the coin, she's very sheltered and also has a deep, deep insecurity through the experiences she's had as a child. I got to explore such a range of emotions. That was demanding, but like so exciting at the same time.
When I saw that, I was like, that's what Kathy is.
So when you're working performance capture, as an actor, I always tell people, move like theatre, speak like film.
Every scene that you see in Deliver Us Mars is shot by hand, filmed as if it's live action.
You sort of have to take the best technical skills from both theatre, film, TV, and you smash them together.
Every day you could really tell how passionate everyone was and how everyone was just working really hard to create something really special.
There is a Dutch expression going where they say, don't go too crazy because your normal state is already crazy enough. We think go big or go home. Deliver Us Mars is a big step up from Deliver Us the Moon. It's a longer game, it's a more emotional story, there's more gameplay involved.
I dare to say that we're going to give you another game that is going to be not just as great, but even better.
We are so excited for players to see more of Deliver Us Mars and to play it for themselves on September 27th.
Strap yourself in and get ready for a serious emotional hit, but an amazing adventure.
Strap yourself in.
I'm buckling up here.
Not too tight though.
Ollie provides goosebumps. Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. As I said, like also goosebumps now,
Mhm.
seeing all the scenes in there.
Does it get better with every time you watch it? Like more goosebumps?
It's weird because you would expect that after the, I don't know, 10th time that you've seen it, that you would get used to it, but it's still so exciting to see it every time. Yeah. For me at least. I don't know with you.
And to be a part of it, right? To be a part of a
It's
team that creates something like that. Yeah, it's really cool.
it's a real feeling to watch something this big and realize, okay, I'm part of the team. I'm working with the people who are working on this, who are creating this, and it's a magical feeling. But whenever I get to show it to new people, like we are together watching this right now on a platform with people who might see this for the very first time, it kind of causes the next level of excitement. So whenever I get to show it to someone else, I'm like, okay, so the feelings are still new, as if I'm watching it for the very first time.
Yes.
And like the motion capturing process, that looks so cool. Like such a connected group and so much emotion put into it. Like if I got it right, you also have like mimics.
Yeah, exactly. We had we not only had the motion capture with the suit on basically, or like the points, I don't know how they're called on the suit, but we also had HMC footage, which is all the points, and then you have this camera that points at you and gives you a very unflattering image of your face. I think actors don't like it so much because it's just like whoop. But that was really cool because since we are such a cinematic game, since we are such a narrative heavy game, we needed to find a way how to capture the real emotions, the very tiny little micro emotions, you maybe call them. And HMC footage was perfect for that.
Also, Ravi writes so much work into an exciting adventure. Congrats, Julia and Alina.
Thank you. And the entire KeokeN team.
Exactly.
We're gonna take the congrats all the way and bring it over.
But I can maybe tell a little bit more about the motion capture. If that's
Sure.
okay.
It's also very interesting for us, just
Extremely.
just as info. We also had some motion capturing for our game, The Cost of Recovery, but like a totally different process. We're very happy that we got a motion capture suit. But for us it was more putting Jens into it, and then Jens does some movements. Well, you have more of a real actor's experience with it, right?
Yeah, but I mean, first of all, we had the great pleasure. Oh God, we had the great pleasure to work. Yeah, I was just nearly throwing my mouse away. We had the great pleasure to work with Neil Newborn, as not only he was not only like an actor for us, but he was also our second director, helping us out with motion capture. It was our first motion capture shoot, so we were going on with a big ambition, and we were so happy that he was there on the team. I think whenever you Google for motion capture, his name comes up because he has been in a lot of great titles in Detroit Become Human, in I think
Resident Evil Village.
Resident Evil. He was the Heisenberg
Right.
in Resident Evil, the like
Yeah.
old guy. And we also had you see that in the video, we had Nicole Tompkins with us, who played Jill Valentine in Resident Evil, who played one of the what's it called, the sisters in the Resident Evil Village, from one of the sisters there.
One of the
So we
sisters,
had
yeah.
great talent. We also had other actors that were working with us: Bryony, Danny, Louisa for one of our characters that she played for Guerrilla, for Horizon Zero Dawn. So we were sometimes a little bit starstruck, but we just knew we had a great cast.
Yeah, Elise Chappell, of course, is the
Exactly,
protagonist,
yeah.
as Kathy Johansson, having Elise on board, somebody who starred over in some of the big Netflix shows. And one of my favorite story is we had a 2D intern, Anna, and of course we knew about the cast, but we couldn't talk about it. We couldn't reveal that for the longest of times. And when finally we got the news out that Elise is playing the main protagonist, Anna came to us and she's like, I can finally tell my grandma. My grandma loves Elise so much. I can finally tell her Elise is in our game. Yes. This is my favorite. And it's amazing and mind-blowing. Yeah, it's amazing and mind-blowing how we get cast that is, well known, that is so many people's favorite, be part of Deliverance Mars.
And I also imagine it to be super helpful for an indie studio to have actors that are already used to that and
Yeah.
have some experience. So it's not just you giving input, but also, I guess they also have some
Exactly.
back info for you. They know what works and what doesn't.
It definitely helped having experienced actors working with us that were also really connecting with the game. Yeah, you saw Elise in the second trailer in this like machine that takes, I think with, I don't know, 100 cameras or something, takes a 3D image of you. So we not only have her as a body actor basically in the game, but we also have her likeliness in the game, so you actually see her face, how it looks in real life. It's sometimes a little bit scary if you see screenshots because it really just looks like her. No, but it was really great experiencing the motion capture shoot. We had so much fun. We had a few obstacles that we had to solve because we were working with Centroid, which is a company that does motion capture for, I don't know, 25 years or something, so they know all the tech. But for example, I think there's a good picture if you go to Neil Newborn's Instagram, because it's a space game, because there will be zero-G in the game. We had to find a solution how to put the actors into zero-G without it looking weird. So we actually thought of getting some office chairs that you can roll. We sawed off the back and I think we left the arm thingies, but we sawed off the back so they can actually like lay flat on the chair. And then we had people on the queue like slowly dragging them, which means you have the motion, but they can also move, navigate a little bit. And I think actually that's a good solution for motion capture for in the future. I think Centroid will probably use that. But it was very funny in the first day where we sawed off, like with a literal saw, sawed off the
Did you
backs
have
of the.
to?
That's
Weren't
funny.
they like screwed on or something?
Yeah.
No, yeah, we had the chairs that had like one whole thing
okay.
there, and we couldn't get other chairs in that short notice, so we just said like, let's
I mean,
do it.
we're making a
sawed off.
pretty dramatic game. We have to be dramatic about everything,
Yeah.
so we had to just go ahead, just be fully
You have
full
to
drama
destroy these
on.
chairs.
Yeah. And what I also find very interesting is, we are heavy cinematic. It's nearly live action game, so it is very funny to not funny, but it's very interesting to work with real actors, not just the developers in the suit, but with real actors, because sometimes you just think like, are you okay? Can we help you in something? And then they're just like, after the scene done, yeah, I'm good. Just gonna drink something from my tea. So it was really fun to see how invested they are in portraying our story. Yeah, and also we had We had so many great outtakes where something stuck or something. I mean, the suits they have these like Velcro things, so sometimes you also stick together, and then it's like weird releasing yourself.
Will you release an outtake video?
That would be funny.
I don't know. I would really like it.
Yeah.
Alina, let's do it.
I would really love that. I was thinking that this is something that we could do, but because I think we cannot release it now, because if we
No,
do that,
no,
there
yeah.
might be some spoilers for the story.
Yeah.
But afterwards, this is something I really want to do, because what we did is there was a live stream for the company, for people in the company, when motion caption was happening. So everybody who works for KeokeN, we could tune in and kind of see the process of what's happening. Because
cool.
we're very transparent like that. We want every team member to be involved, you know, and we were not filming that in the office. We were filming it elsewhere. So it kind of was cool for all of us, even for people who work remotely, to tune in and kind of see the whole process. And oh boy, some of the things that we saw, so many scenes just made the team members cry, and we had a chat going on, and everybody's like, "Are you crying right now?" Me too, me too.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
Yeah, that was really great, and that was amazing to see. So releasing a video like that, I think it would be awesome
We
because
should
when
do
you see
it.
the process. Yeah.
Also, one funny thing that I remember was that with the what we did with the motion capture there, we had I think it's called optical motion capture. I don't know, Jens, if you did optical or like inertial with the suit.
We have one that has the motion sensor, so it's not
nice.
optical. It has I
Yeah.
guess it's called inertia.
Yeah. But we had the optical ones, and they have to be calibrated every time, like every morning. So when we had the stream on for our team members, which were also in the stand-up call, you could hear or see the actors making these like weird faces because they have
T-pose and
to be
everything.
calibrated, the T-pose, and then turn itself and everything. So it must have looked very fun. Yeah.
Jens, are you glad that you only had to do like normal things?
Normal
animations?
You also have to do the T-pose in our suit.
Yeah.
What's
you
the
didn't have to
weirdest?
fly in 0G.
No,
What's the weirdest animation that you had to make with your suit?
I don't really remember. It's been a while since we used
Yeah.
this suit.
That's true.
Just use it for some memes now. I think it's a great
Yeah.
time to
I mean, we have
true.
this suit. Let's
Fortnite
just.
dances.
Yeah.
I think there were a lot of fishing movements that we
Yeah.
did for the trailer. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we also additional to the motion capture that we did, we also, I don't know if it's over there somewhere. We also have one of the Extend suits here where our animators can actually jump in and animate a few scenes. I think when Alina was here 2 weeks ago, I think in the office, she took a lot of pictures of that, and it's also really cool for our animators, I think, to not only work behind the PC or look in that mirror where you can see how your face moves, but they can really just jump in the suit and then shoot all the animations that they need. It is really a cool technology that I think will be accessible to more indie studios, especially with the suits that you also have.
Yeah.
I wish I had it for personal use, because again, meme
For
video.
meme use.
I would just record memes.
Yeah, it's just very, very handy to have that.
Yeah.
I think you never regret having a motion capture suit. A few things that interest me as well. I'm also the marketing community person at Off the Beaten Track, so I'm also interested in some marketing community stuff, because you already have an existing player base from Deliver at the Moon, and I looked earlier, and you have like 4,000 ratings on Steam, so I think it's safe to say that Deliver at the Moon is pretty successful game, and you have a big player base. How did that influence you going on and developing Deliver Us Mars? Like, were there specific expectations that like make it harder for you to develop the game because there are certain things that are expected from us, or is it more like a positive thing and getting in cool ideas, having a community standing beside you and supporting you all the way? So how is it to work on a game when you already have the player base and you're working on a sequel to a successful game?
I mean, the interesting thing,
Yeah.
just one quick sentence, the interesting
Sure.
thing was that before we actually announced the title Deliver Us Mars, there were already from 3 years ago, like I think someone posted on YouTube under a video of us, like, when will a sequel Deliver Us to Mars come out? So if back in the day before we announced, you could actually find the title of the game, not necessarily connected to us. So I think there were some expectations to do that, but I think we are in a good way getting the energy from the community without us stressing out about it. We have to do that now, but we just enjoy it. It's my answer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start with a little backstory because I used to be a Twitch streamer and I actually played Deliver Us the Moon myself as a streamer as part of the player base before I started working for KeokeN. And I was brought in to KeokeN, and that's when I was told, hey, cool, you love the moon, but we're working on the sequel that's called Deliver Us Mars, but it's a huge NDA thing. And I was like, what? That was my first reaction, hearts pumping out of my chest. You gotta be kidding me, because I was already a fan of the whole series.
Nice.
So it obviously, I think it was very difficult. The hardest part, I think, was keeping it secret from people because we do regular Twitch streams as a company. We do YouTube videos. We have a very active presence of social media, and it was obvious from what we post that the team is actively working on something, but it was always like, yeah, we are working on this unannounced project. So it was like very difficult to not spit it out. The best thing was actually getting the news out and getting the feedback of so many people saying, oh my God, I am so excited. The response was so great. Many people legit expressed the feeling how they said that they wanted for it to happen and they really were looking forward to it, but it was not confirmed by us until we said, hey, this is it. This is what we're making. So in this sense, the community, having an already existing community who love the first game definitely helps because people are very excited to see the story. The story picks up, so it's the direct sequel. So people already know the mechanics. Most of the people are space nerds, or we turned them into space nerds with Deliver Us the Moon. So they're always trying to fish for the new mechanics and everything. They try to guess, and that definitely helps because it boosts the morale of the team. My favorite thing is to take a screenshot of people saying, I've already pre-ordered. I'm getting it day one. Like, you're amazing.
Nice.
Keep going, team. I love playing Deliver Us the Moon. When is Deliver Us Mars coming out? And sending it to the team, that also helps. As for the expectations, I think we kind of set the expectations for ourselves before we announced that, because we did learn a lot from Deliver Us the Moon. And Deliver Us Mars is an enhanced version, because while developing Deliver Us the Moon, and I get information from our amazing game designer, Milin. Milin, if you're watching, hello. Hope you're doing great. She was the one who was working on Deliver Us the Moon and Deliver Us Mars. And the team had, playtests for Deliver Us the Moon, and a lot of the feedback from the playtesters were missing because some players didn't understand some mechanics and it was kind of like difficult for people to grasp it. So the team already knew what had to be improved in Deliver Us Mars to make it better, to work it there, to place some things there, to make it more intuitive. And I think the team kind of learned from the previous experience. So we set the bar high ourselves for ourselves. So it's us convincing our player base now, it's going to be even better. It's going to be even greater. This is our ambition. Everything you loved about Deliver Us the Moon is going to be enhanced. So in this way, it was not the pressure from the community, but us making our ambition become a reality.
And it also sounds like the expectations and what you wanted to do, or what your own goals were, fits very well. So you plan to make another awesome space game, and that's exactly what your community wants. So everyone's happy.
Exactly. Everyone's happy. There is, however, a thing where we do have to remind new people who just hearing about Deliver Us Mars, people who did not play Deliver Us the Moon years back or recently, because when you look at the trailers, when you look at the gameplay, we do make an impression of creating something super big, something that, might have a bigger team. So we also, some of the people's expectations may be a little bit too high. So at the same time, we also have to say, hey, we are here having a smaller team. We might look like a AAA giant, and that's a huge compliment being compared to that. But it also kind of like, yeah, sometimes you have to remind people that we are a team of 30 hardworking, very talented people just living up to our own ambition. So
Yeah.
I think a cool thing is that people not only connect to the game or to the publisher, but really to KeokeN. Just a little bit of a backstory, because I'm actually also part of the community from back then, because KeokeN had the pleasure for Deliver Us the Moon for the Kickstarter period to be picked up by one of the biggest streamers in Germany, Gronk. This is where I came over to the community. So we not only have people being excited for the game, being in the game Discord, people being excited that we have a beautiful partner, Frontier Foundry, but they are, like, most of our community actually is connected to KeokeN. So most of the people that see the trailers and that actually want to know something about the company, they directly find out that we regularly feature our game developers, our interns in the videos. So I think actually what Alina said is completely true, and we are making an effort to showcase the people behind the game, behind the company, and I hope it helps sometimes to portray the picture that even if it might sometimes look AAA, that we are a small team. We don't have 70 animators behind us or something, but we have a very dedicated team.
That's such a good
yeah.
problem to have. Your game looks too nice. You have to remind people that you're a small studio. Like, guys, calm down.
Calm down.
Yeah, it comes with a cost, but I think we're pretty good handling that. There was also another thing that I want to mention, but I completely forgot that. Never mind.
Olipool asked one thing in the chat, and I think that's like a general marketing question.
Yeah.
Yes. One thing I like to know
Exactly.
is why to announce the title or reveal the secret project at a certain point in time and not once you start the development. Is it because it might get cancelled in an early stage, so that would be disappointing for players?
It really depends, because when you look back at the story of the company at the Deliver Us the Moon was kickstarted back in the day, and the project was so successful thanks to Gronk, who picked us up, because we were basically sending emails to content creators saying, hey, try out, this is like a little demo, we're doing the Kickstarter, and he was amazing enough to pick it up and play on stream and just get his community over, and pretty much Gronk's community
Breaking Twitter.
Yeah, they just broke it. They contributed to the Kickstarter. So it really depends, because let's say when you're doing a Kickstarter campaign, it makes sense to announce your game once you're, let's say, in earlier stages of development, right? Because then you want people to be involved in the whole Kickstarter. You obviously have some rewards for people, and then you post updates of how the development going and people are involved. In the situation where there is already a game that exists and you're working on the next one, and you're working with beautiful publishers, partners, such as Frontier Foundry that we have right now, with whom it's a great pleasure to work. There obviously goes a little bit more into the whole marketing campaign, because I'm not going to reveal all of the secrets there, but trust me, there is a reason of the game being announced when it is announced. And it doesn't really... I know that many people are saying, what if it's going to get cancelled? Players going to be disappointed. There is a lot that goes into timings and what are we doing, and there are huge marketing teams who are planning moves and when stuff are going to get shown, because you don't want to just spill out everything at the same time, especially for games like ours, which is very story driven, because if you spill out every bin, I mean, we gotta build up the hype.
The old problem with narrative games.
Right, we gotta build up the hype.
Yeah, show enough to make them interested, but don't show so much that they know what's happened.
Exactly, because we wanna, every single one of us at the team, we wanna just burst out and tell you everything. Trust us, because what we see is so great, but we also want you to experience the novelty when you play the game and to go through everything yourself. And this is the reason why certain games get announced at certain times. It's a long/short story.
Yeah, but that's also a question that like there's no definitive answer for every game for that, because some
No,
people
it's
like to start very early and take people along on the whole ride, and others want to build up a hype and then you can buy the game quickly afterwards and not like 5 years later or something. So
I
it's
also think,
basically come on, Julie,
sorry, I
sorry.
also think that if you make a Kickstarter campaign in these days, especially, that you already have to have some kind of base game that's gonna probably already developed for a year or something. So it's actually not that much different because Kickstarter nowadays is mainly a marketing material. But it's yeah, as Alina said, there are marketing beats with whole marketing teams that make sense. And for us, it's just so good to find like the moment, the day that everyone finally could talk about it. It felt so magical in a way, I would say.
Liberating, finally.
Yeah.
Because we were very paranoid. You have no idea what it feels like being a social media manager and going
every
through social
time
media
someone
every
mentions
day.
Mars, you're
Every
like,
day
no!
someone mentions Mars and just
How do
picking
you
up
know?
a GIF to post. And I'm just like, what if that hints on Mars? What if I post this GIF and it has Mars in it and people make a connection? It's a whole level. I had nightmares about spilling the beans accidentally on social media. That was bad.
Can talk about Mars, but you also can just avoid Mars because people are going to notice that you avoid about talking about the Mars.
Exactly, it's the whole thing because like we are a space game. We released a game about the moon, so we kind of transition some of the space-related news. But then if something comes out about Mars, why are we avoiding that all of a sudden? But then also, like, what if I'm like too heavy? Yeah, it's kind of thing. But if you go back to marketing, every marketing campaign is different. Every game is unique, and every marketing campaign is unique, and it all comes down to what the end goal is and how you want to do it.
And I mean, you basically already answered one of the questions that I'm always interested in, which is, was there like one big thing that sparked your marketing, or was it just consistency? But sounds like Gronk was a pretty big thing for your game, right? Yeah.
Back then. Yeah, I still remember it because I was actually in the stream when he played the I think the Gamescom prototype for Deliver Us the Moon. And normally these kind of games were not really so much on my radar because the games that I play usually are in a totally different thing. I like pixel art. I like all the simulators like Stardew Valley, everything. But there was actually, and
I just started playing that again last week. Oops.
I'm so sorry, Jen. You will never see her again. No, I have to
show
tell
up to work
Sander.
today, so.
I have to tell Sander more times probably, but actually it was like a piece of music that I heard in the stream where I was suddenly like focused. Oh shit, this looks really good. This sounds really good. What is this? And I can remember that this is what I mentioned. Like it on that day, it actually broke Twitter because the Twitter follower count for KeokeN was broken at one point because it didn't update, so it just showed I think 0 or something, which sometimes happen. But I'm really happy because KeokeN did a good thing back then. As I said, I was not part of the company back then, us two, but I was part of the fandom community back then. They did a great thing of taking that hype that they got from Gronk's community and actually building up their own community. And I think that benefits it very much that they just didn't let this run out or something, but they develop their own community, their own streams. They connected to the people, and we actually still have people from 2016 or something
All
that
the way
are in our all the way back then. Jens, 2016 was the day or was the year where I started at the starter kitchen, so
Wow,
it's
that's a while ago.
it's that while ago exactly. So it is really cool to see all the old names there, and it definitely helped. As I said before, it helped to not only have a player base for the game or through the publisher, but also for us at KeokeN, as KeokeN, basically, yeah.
So, I know this is a bit jumpy, but there's one other question I wanted to ask, like, as a last final question, and also because I know that you especially went to your writers to be able to answer me this. But I told you
You have to
before,
take Rainer in.
yeah, that I'd be interested in, since you're narrative game developers or bringing out
Yeah.
a narrative game. I'm interested in a bit, little bit info about your writing process and like what came first. Was it gameplay first? We know what you're going to be able to do in the game, and then writing afterwards and building a story up, or did you first know what the game was going to be about, and then you're building gameplay up? So, do you know a bit about the process?
Yeah. I went specifically to Raina, who is a writer who's also responsible for the cinematics and everything. He's a bit of a genius in what he does. So with the Deliver Us the Moon and Deliver Us Mars, because we are such narrative-heavy games, it always has to start off with the narrative, right? So in these games, you want to have the story because it's like the best, the main driving force. We are telling the story first of all. So in Deliver Us Mars, during the writing process, there was a focus on the narrative first, and then from then on, you go into the gameplay, art, and other design elements. So you kind of first make a story, and then you build everything else around it. Plus, to make it a little bit of like an extended answer as well too, because there is more information. In the recent years, there was a little bit of a more demand for a game like that, because you do see a lot of space themed games where there's basically you're running with a gun, run a gun through space, and there was more of a demand about complex and intricate storytelling. People do miss those kind of things where you go to space and you learn about someone's destiny. So with Write and Deliver Us Mars, we dared to be a cinematic experience, kind of go into the film and television territory with our game, more than just gameplay, where the characters and the story, it beats the challenge. And the players have more of an emotional response because we want the players to be emotionally involved with what's going on in there. So yeah, the storytelling in this case, when it rides, it goes first, and then everything else comes after.
Yeah, really interesting. And then all the designers have to link gameplay and story perfectly together.
Yeah, and another cool thing that Raina told me is that you eventually get to because with Deliver Us Mars, we had Deliver Us the Moon, right? And it already has a very rich lore and story going on there. There was recently a YouTube video done by one of the fans of the series who went ahead and explained the entire lore of Deliver Us the Moon. They even had a little list with the notes, kind of writing down the key points, so like who does what in Deliver Us the Moon, which was great. So yeah, there was already established. So the writing team, they took it as a background to kind of build upon that as well. And there are some scenes that get written and then rewritten, and then you work on it. But the coolest thing, the writing process, and this is big, it kind of shocked me as well. The writing process spanned to more than 1.5 years.
Wow.
And we have a complete script of more than 400 pages for Deliver Us Mars.
Wow.
I hope that we
So-
can maybe
Alright.
somehow someday release the script as like a not
As
only
a
art
book.
book. Yeah, we have
Yes.
we have the plan. I don't want to say the plan now. I would love to.
Confirmed.
Thanks,
It's confirmed.
No. I would love to have an art book with the concept
Yeah.
art. I would love to have a meme book with all the memes that we produce in the company. Also,
a meme book.
I noted it down before. One of our actors is the meme machine because he makes so many great memes out of our stuff. And then also have the, how do you call it, script book or something? Just like a Harry Potter,
That would be
J.K. Rowling,
great.
was it Curse of the Child? No, Curse of the, I don't know.
Something like that, yeah. The
Cursed Child,
Yeah.
but then
Yeah.
for Mars, because I think it would be really cool to see it in a script form. Not
Yeah.
confirmed though, just my wishes. Please make
Another
it happen, Frontier.
Another great thing that also needs to be mentioned with Deliver Us the Moon, we went for a linear narrative. So the story has a beginning and the story has an end. With Deliver Us Mars, we took it a little bit to the next level. And there is a lot of things that kind of involved in this sort of decision. With Deliver Us Mars, story gets to be less linear. It takes you to some, places in the form of flashbacks and everything, It's done, well, first of all, it's a cool way of storytelling, right? It's a cool way to kind of come up with it and shaping the scenes and shaping the gameplay. but also because we get asked this question, like, weren't you afraid that it's going to get dull, that the entire game is on Mars? Because, I mean, what can you show? It's just sand and it's just the red planet, maybe some rocks. It's like, so we have a lot in stock for you. We have a lot of amazing sceneries. The one that I also personally like is Nighttime Mars, and there was a lot of research that went into that because we usually see pictures from the rovers that are daytime, right?
Yeah.
So there's going to be that, and also because of the way we narrate the story, the player will find themselves in various multiple locations, which are going to be absolutely stunning. So this is something I personally like, and this is something everybody should look forward to.
Also, it sounds like a really good sequence of events to go with a linear narrative game first, because I mean sometimes linear is used in a way to say that, well, there are multiple outcomes, but I think it's always better to have a good linear story compared to multiple endings, but they they're not as don't feel as important. But it's really cool to have a linear narrative game first, and then when you say, okay, that was really good, but I think we can do more with the next game, to then dare to go that step to open it up a bit. That's really cool.
I mean, it's a very, again, cinematic, very emotional experience. And in the movies, you often see all of the difference, like 30 minutes earlier, 3 hours later, this kind of like movies do that. So it's
50 years in the future.
50 years into the future, right? It's kind of cool to tell the story this way, and it kind of helps out build the emotion. This is what we aim to do.
Yeah. And I think for the story, it was also very cool to have Rainer on as the narrative director, because he comes from live action TV, so he knows actually to not only like write a game out in a linear story, but he has these things that you do in live action TV that you can utilize in a game that are maybe a little bit newer, but definitely helping out. Yeah.
Oh boy, 400 pages of script. You really don't sound indie. But that's amazing. I want a graphic novel. That would be great.
Oh, that would be
Actually, if you go to
Graphic
now, I'm
novel
taking over
confirmed?
Alina's. No. But I'm taking over Alina's part. We have a cool thing, and the poster is not hanging here anymore. We have a cool thing that we had in the collector's edition for Delivers the Moon. That we actually had a comic made with our publisher for Moon, and for Delivers Mars. I think it's on the Instagram page.
Yes, it's Deliver Us Mars Instagram page.
If you go to the Instagram page, you see a comic that hinted at the release of the main character. So there were actually comic artists that took over the story a little bit, or not the story, but like the story beats that we can release a little bit. Paint beautiful pictures. We had the Wireframe magazine cover just a few weeks ago.
Right here. I'm not sure if you can see behind my microphone. I'm gonna move it.
It is just a beautiful, like, there was actually an artist from Frontier sketching up with our main character, like looking up into the stars, but in a different art style that we had. But it's just so beautiful to see that happening. So we have a comic for Delivers the Moon. We have a small comic for Delivers Mars on Instagram.
That is still going on.
I just looked at your Instagram because I don't know, I didn't look at it before, but that looks so cool. I'll link it in chat.
Yeah, please check it out. And it's a story that unravels in front of your eyes. There is like more of the continuation and whatnot. It started only with, I think, 9 pictures. So everybody's like, okay, what's that? Is that a rocket? What's the debris? What's going on? And then it continues, and it's a beautiful idea. And I'm gonna give a shout out to the Frontier Foundry team and Zach, because Zach was really the person behind this idea, and credit should go where credit is due. That was extremely well done and executing.
Such a good idea. Yeah. Awesome.
Nice.
Okay. I think with that one we should come to the end. I always say things like, yeah, it's gonna be maximum an hour, and then we just keep rolling because it's really fun and really interesting. And I'm certainly
Thank you,
looking
Alina.
forward to Deliver Us Mars, which will come
Me
out
too.
in
Yeah.
exactly 2 months, right? Yeah,
Oh yeah,
September
it's
27th.
Oh my god, yes,
yeah.
actually, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's also I think the Moon, the first time it came out, it was on 28th of September. My birthday is on the
Ooh.
9th of September, so I always got the games as my I just
Nice.
Kuhn and Paul, if you're listening, please listen. Don't listen right now, but I always see it as a small of a birthday gift for me. No, but it's yeah, it's really cool, and we're looking forward to seeing other people play it. I cannot wait until we see reactions from people.
And
Yeah,
see Gronk
and
playing it again. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
he was reacting to what was it? The PC gaming. Where did we reveal it?
Yeah, I think
There were
PC
so many
gaming, yeah.
conventions.
The
PC
first
gaming
one.
show. I think that's when we revealed the game where our trailer played, and he was watching that, and it was amazing to just like see the reaction because at first, like the reveal trailer, it has like Frontier Foundry, KeokeN Interactive, and goes KeokeN or what? And then because nobody knew, so the surprise was very genuine. So
Yeah.
I am looking forward to watching the streams, people playing the game. I'm looking forward to seeing YouTube reactions. I'm looking forward to seeing all the comments and yeah, this is like a dream of every community social manager to be able to actually, see the screenshots that people are going to post, and yeah, quite excited. And I think I speak for the entire team when I say those things.
I just wanted to say it's probably one of the best things of working in social media that you see actually the reactions of the people to your products. It's probably, Ines, for you the same to see
Yeah.
the reactions of people to the streams, to the things that you're doing. And I mean, I was even, I mean, you should never really like believe what's in the internet, but I was so happy that for Mars we even got like good reactions from Reddit posts. There were people being like, "Hey, I saw Delivers the Moon on Game Pass, picked it up, didn't know it at all, but I was so happy with the game, and I'm so happy that I see that they are planning a sequel or like that they're developing a sequel now." So I think when it comes to internet comments, we got quite a good bunch, and so Alina and me are always making sure that the team is overfilled with all the comments that they are.
Right. I also want to take this moment to actually
Oh boy.
mention all of the. No, I'm just gonna I'm on a mission of making the heroes now and the heroes of KeokeN, because here with me is just me and Julia, but we basically just representing a big team full of amazing, talented people. You can see some of them. You can see some of them working in the distance there in the office.
Sorry.
Oh no, your camera froze.
It's okay. It's good for me because I'm talking about the team, so this is how we're just going to do that. So yeah, we're basically representing a team of people who are working on the game: composers, game designers, programmers, level designers, producers, obviously, right? Everybody, the entire team is very invested in what they're doing. They're very passionate. Deliver Us Mars, just like Deliver Us the Moon, is a love child. And I think if we could bring together the entire team of 35 people alone here with us, we would definitely do that. But we're doing our best to represent them all. And yeah, this is basically me saying hello and that you guys are doing amazing, keep doing an awesome job. And I also want to let everybody know that real people are working on Deliver Us Mars right now
Real
as we're having
people.
this.
Sure.
Real people.
It's real people,
Really?
I swear.
Yeah, they're working on Deliver Us Mars right now as we have those stream, and they deserve all the recognition in the world because they do an amazing job.
Yes.
Thank you for the wonderful shout out to the team at KeokeN, and thank you too for being here, of course. Also, I just want to mention that you're gonna be at Gamescom, right? With aren't you, Alina? Right?
There is not much I can tell you yet about
Okay.
that one. The moment we have more information, I'm gonna let everybody know.
Exactly.
But yeah,
Okay.
it's just yeah. There's.
I mean, I privately am gonna be there. Yeah,
Yeah, Julia's
exactly.
going to be there.
Also
And
to meet up with you. Yeah.
and Jens and me are also gonna be there. So just if anyone's watching this and wants to meet up with any one of us at Gamescom, let us know. Very
Is there gonna
excited
be
to see some
is there
people
gonna be an
there.
if game SH meetup there?
A meetup. Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
we should do that.
I'm so sorry, Debbie.
We won't have a
I'm so
booth there
sorry,
at
Sasha.
least this year, but we're gonna be there and stroll around Gamescom and check everything out. And yeah, I also linked Deliver Us Mars once again in chat on Steam, so check it out if you haven't.
We have a beautiful website as well. That's deliversmars.com. If you want to find out more cool stuff about the game, screenshots, some additional info, there is some cool little secret thing that we're not going to talk about, but there's some cool little Easter egg thing that you can find there that we also distributed during TwitchCon that we went to as a company. But I suggest people go to deliversmars.com website because they can find a lot of amazing stuff in there. Just I'm there planting seeds of intrigue. That's my job.
Oh boy.
And we are gonna be back with the Campfire Conversations at some point. Usually it's every 4 weeks, but I just noticed that in 4 weeks is Gamescom week. So probably be delayed a week or so. But keep an eye on our socials to find out when our next Campfire Conversations are going to be and who's going to be our guest for that time. I'm very glad that we had you for this time here.
That would also be a good thing to stream. I mean, it's not possible so easily, but to stream the Campfire Conversation from Gamescom.
That would be super cool.
I was about to suggest that. That would be amazing to do that.
I have to check if I have tech that works for that. I have to check that. I mean, obviously all the game devs are there. When to better meet up than there. But yeah, keep an eye on socials and we announce it at some point. Also, last week I changed our info box below the stream a bit, and it now includes the link to our newsletter sign up. Just a quick info because we recently reworked our newsletter. So it's not just a company newsletter anymore, but it's now called the Narrative Outlook, and it's a newsletter for everyone that's interested in narrative games and adventure games, and contains info about narrative game news, about events that are interesting for those who are into narrative games and adventure games. Also some company news, something about what's going on at our studio. And we also always include the Indie Jam Corner, where one of our team members tells you about a game that you might not know yet. So if you haven't subscribed to our newsletter yet, go check it out below.
Do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. I also quickly want to say that it's so cool that you're also taking part in not only being a studio developing a game sitting behind your PCs, but you're also very active in the indie game scene in Germany. You're active doing a lot of game jams, bringing up giving giving people the opportunity to make smaller studios themselves. So I think it's very important that we as developers not only develop games but also foster the whole community around us. So it was quite nice being here.
And it's very nice to connect with each other, find out what's going on at other studios, talk a bit about game development and everything surrounding it. Yeah. So thanks a lot for being here.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
And
Thank you
with
for having
that, I'd say goodbye for now and see you next time in our next stream. Bye.
Bye.